I mean, when you play Wild Rift, do you really play Wild Rift, Daryl? You know. Wait a second. Let's go back to the draft because something a little bit more interesting is there. It's a Vayne and Ashe lock-in. So Cambodia once again pulling something out of their magic tricks.
Yep. Double ADC, but it's a jungle Vayne. I think some people are telling me about how jungle Vayne is actually kind of decent now. Her silver bolts in relation to the original version gives her attack speed boost. So clearly the jungle is a lot better, but when you have a Xin Zhao, the double smite, I was talking about this, double smite is actually pretty good against a Momo. You just run it and take all his camps.
So I think what's happening, this is going to be a solo lane Vayne. Maybe a mid. I mean, it's gonna be hard to see, right? But they take Dr. Mundo, the first Dr. Mundo. Oh yes!
It was in an earlier game today that Opal and Granny passed it, but just to talk a little bit more about this overall lineup that they have, double smite is, like I said, good against a Momo if you can just walk in and steal his buffs, but you really need to get a hit. Like, you need money, you need gold, and you need EXP, otherwise you just fall behind so hard.
Now let's look at the last time for today, the team intros of both Team Keeper and Team Marshall. Our final game of the day. Can you believe it has been a long day of Wild Rift action? What are you thinking from the drafts here, Daryl?
I'm just thinking that right now this double smite has to punish the Amumu. Overall, I still prefer the traditional draft. I think I like Team Marshall's draft just a little bit more.
Yeah, I think so too. But you know what? Sometimes thinking out of the box always helps people out from there. It's going to be interesting to see how things are going to go about. Who is going to come out on top? This is still a very important match for the seeding, so it's still something to play for.
Yeah, of course, if you get the point here, it makes it a bit easier because you don't have to play the first place. You can play the second place team, which is all good and dandy, right, moving forward. I'm more curious about the teams as they finish today.
Okay.
How do they reset and how do they move forward, right?
Yeah, it's been such a long day for everyone. Mentally, you kind of want to reset, but you know what? Let's go into the game and see what happens from there. The lane assignments is gonna be a little bit interesting here. It's gonna be a Lux solo lane, dual mid with Dr. Mundo and Ashe, and in the dragon lane, it's gonna be the Xin Zhao and the Vayne.
Feels like they know something we don't, but or rather having this double mid lane pairing makes it so that Ahri doesn't get to push at all. She just gets punished and pressured out. Even though she has the orb of deception, she's always gonna get shoved in.
Yeah, I mean, it's a simple math, right? 2 is better than 1.
Thank you for that insightful analysis.
No worries. I've always got your back, man. Come on, I'm good at math. You know, it's always been good at it. But look at this, going into this sort of a double jungle route. Interestingly enough, I mean, that's why you gotta get double. Well,
triple jungling. They're gonna reset the aggro on the Raptors though.
A little bit of a mistake there coming up. But you know what? Nothing that's gonna break the game or change the big flow here. Meanwhile, Lux is all to solo by herself against this Kai'Sa. So it's gonna be a Kai'Sa Lux Baron lane. It's gonna be interesting to see how they want to kind of adapt into this meta.
I think Kai'Sa is in a good spot right now. First blood coming through though, it will be the Xin Zhao that gets picked off. I think it's a hook into a power fist that grants them the kill. Striking early and striking fast is Team Marshall right now.
Yeah, they kind of want to do that and make sure that everything is up to par. Don't make any mistakes. I think in this top lane, they're just gonna try to clear out the lanes as much as possible, right? Like, don't make sure that you're not pushed in, you're not shoved in, get the EXP, get the goal, and then wait for the team fights.
Lux hitting level 3 here will have access to all her spells. Smite available should be used here to pick up the Scuttle Crab.
I think it should be okay. This Vayne is going to be the main threat coming up from Keeper of Cambodia. They want to pump this Vayne up, right? It's sort of like a throwback to, if I'm not mistaken, the Season 2 strategy from Uzi with... at that time, it was called Royal, right? It was just called Royal.
Starhorn Royal Club.
Starhorn Royal Club, yeah, SHFC. Like Uzi, you know, raise the puppy, and I think that's what they want to do, right? Just pump the Vayne, make sure that she gets the farm, she gets the goal, and then she'll 1v5 everybody.
Well, that's probably the best player to have, you know, all the gold on, because we talked about an ex-pro in the MOBA scene. Prom is the one that is holding that title right now as they jump all in onto the Mundo. No damage just yet, over deception, barely connecting, and no kill in the mid lane. Ice will walk over to the Scuttle Crab and claim this for himself. No smite means he's going to take a bit for this one, but nevertheless, the attempt to use Spirit Rush was committed. No kill just yet.
I call it a win. I call it a win. You know, you take 2 players out and they don't even kill you off. That's really, really good play coming out. Meanwhile, you can see Kai'Sa just really happy. NX Live just farming things out. Wants to get her items, wants to get the power spike before it goes for the big jugular.
I do like the barrier summoner spell pickup, because if you're not going to be in a dual lane, there's no point bringing heal. And with barrier, you actually get a big, massive frontline shield when you use your killer instinct, right? So you can soak a lot of the damage and you become a lot tankier than people expect you to be when you jump in.
That's pretty cool, right? A lot of like a theory craft coming through, different styles, and that's what we want to see. Now, Ice already has the curse, as I said, Mummy. I think the minions spotted him walking into that brush. I'm not very sure, but you know what? He's still gonna try. He's gonna be really, really patient.
Yep, just holding here for now in the dragon lane.
They want to see whether they can go for something. Rocket Grab is available, doesn't land onto anything. Xin Zhao, he understood something was up. His spidey senses was tingling. He's just gonna walk away and let them have the lane while his other lanes try to make something happen.
I think Blitzcrank flashed forward to get the hook there, but did not connect. I'm gonna have to double check that later on. But yeah, it's a bit of time from the Amumu being committed to the mid lane to in the top side, right, to try and find a kill, but really unable to do so.
Yep. Now, nothing major has happened. It's only 2-0. Yes, it's, you know, Marshall clearly has the lead, but it's just one team fight away, right? If they just change it up, they will make the swap. They can turn things around. Oh, that's a good hook on Dr. Mundo, but unfortunately he's a Dr. Mundo. He's the last one to go, but Audacious Charge will come in here. Where's the Gracious Crescent? There goes the kill. They do get a turnaround, but the rest of Marshall is just hot on their heels. Spirit Rush maybe. Ooh, a little bit of a miss there on the charm, but no worries. He's just going to walk away from there. They do get a kill and they get a trade. That's
a great trade, you know. They push forward so aggressively and they still manage. Although they do lose the dragon, this might just be something here in the top side. Final spark from the Condemn. Not enough damage to give them the kill. Prom was in position but unable to help his team convert. It's a big ultimate being used there, the final spark. Well, I say big, it's now on a cooldown, right? It's not like it's a 2-minute ultimate.
Yeah, it's pretty fast. But now, you can see Drake is in the eyes of both teams. T26 might want to make something happen. Make them go to the bottom side so that they can have that priority. They know that Drake is a very important objective in this game.
I remember this is not like the new version of Dragon where you take dragons until, you know, Elder into Soul into Elder. This is the one where all Elder dragons empower the current element, right? So yeah, it's kind of additively stacking.
But I mean, team fight coming in here. Ooh, Audacious Charge the flash a little bit. I think of mistake coming from Prom, I would say. He didn't mean that, I think.
Maybe he was looking to flash Condemn, but he couldn't get in range, so had to back off.
Well, meanwhile, Ice getting some good chip damage. We'll be able to get at least one plating. Oh, good charm. Lands on the vein, and there goes the Q. Curse of the rabbit. Lands on the 2. Do they want to go for the follow-up? Looks like the ultimate from Dr. Mundo will get popped up here. He stayed alive, but just slightly. He will go down as well. That's a 2-for-0 exchange. Great play there. Ooh, just wipe. Arjo Matt almost getting another one. This Ari is popping off.
They have the pressure now, and this Ashe, I don't think you want to stay here. You're not really sure who's around, so maybe just clear the wave off and back to heal, maybe buy. You can see on your minimap right now that the Dragon Lane is getting sieged up. It's going to take a lot of damage, in fact.
Yep, they just want to back out here. They want to slowly grind out this victory here. Marshall, they understand they have the lead. They don't want to force anything out. They're going for the Rift Herald. They have the priority, so this should be a relatively safe one. But you can see on your minimap, Dr. Mundo being the scouter that he needs to be, trying to get that information, but it's a little bit too late.
Yeah, I like that they get two, you know, objectives on the opposite sides of the map right now. Here is Gaming having to back off, taking a lot of pressure. But the good news is they found that, you know, Dragon Tier 1 and also the Rift Herald. So if you can completely or if you can successfully get two objectives on opposite sides of the map, it's a good thing.
Oh,
backing off the Blitzcrank.
Whew, that was close, man. That was really, really close. Managed to just walk away safe and sound. But now, this is the power spike that Marshall is starting to hit, right? Yep. You have that Mumu with those, you know, core items, and this Ari with that Oblivion Orb starting to get built up. The team fight, that's where they shine.
This is probably 4,000 or 5,000 gold leads suddenly coming out from the first tower in Dragon Lane, the Rift Herald turret following that, as well as a couple of kills left and right. They're in a great position. Like Original Matt right now, he's making a roam down to bot lane. Remember, Lux is immobile, so if you can jump her, you should be able to assassinate her with Kai'Sa as well.
Yeah, I think once you land the charm, it's kind of hard for it to dodge unless the teammate is here. You can see Vayne is spotted out by that Void. They want to go for this push here. Flash immediately charm. Does them all. Distraction is there as well. The killer instinct to follow up. Is he going to be enough damage? No. It's a really good play coming from Lux. They're diving a little bit too deep here. They do get the kill, but at what cost here? The op of this session will get a little bit of help. The flash comes through. The charm will slow things down. Nope, he will go down. And it's going to be a 1-for-1 trade unless something a little bit more. They get the kill on that Mumu. Enchanted Crystal Arrow to the face. That's a good turnaround.
Right now, 4-8. Team Marshall still holding on with a significant kill lead, and Ace Gaming throughout that whole period had a lot of time to free farm. You can see Infinity Edge is already available. Good hook into turret range. The Ignite as well. Aftershock does absolutely nothing, but he's going to be able to kite him out, I believe. The Power Fist knocking here up though.
It's not gonna be enough. I think
Buff
he didn't have the power
Frost
fist
arrows.
Yeah, didn't have the power fist out when he hooked him into the turret range, so missed out a lot of damage there, unfortunately. But the main thing is Ace Gaming on this MF is just farming non-stop, and that bullet time when it finally lands is gonna hit hard. You can see, just check really quickly. He's 7.5k gold. That's I think the highest in his team at the moment.
Yeah, and the items are starting to clock in, so the next team fight, if they all clump up in a choke point, that bullet time is going to be huge as the Blitzcrank is going to get a kill towards this Baron lane. Good rotation up, but remember, Dragon is available. They could look to make this play here.
Yeah, I think they need to make the rotation. They do have the big ticket ultimates available. Eyesight and Ace, that's the main core damage killers, the main components into this team fight. But I don't think Keeper is going to give this without a fight. Oh, good charm. Lands on the Dr. Mundo. Do they have enough? Burning Enemy does come active, but the damage is not enough. Sadism does get procced, but their focus is a little bit split. Ocean Dragon does go down, and I think they're just going to back off from here.
I think you'd be happy with just taking the Dragon and forcing the Mundo ultimate out. They might just find something here. Hold on, he has to flash away.
Oh, charm lands here. They do want to get the kill. Good rocket grab, but where's the follow-up? There goes the damage. One more auto attack will bring him down. That's 2-4 exchange. I can see this instant replay from original Matt's perspective. They pick up the Ash, clean and cut, but looks like teamfight is not done here. And a bullet time, just making sure nobody can come here. A good chop. Leos is out there. Just keep on going and going. They want to get more. The flash will come up. Can he get away? But he says, hey, you can do it. I can flash as well. Curse on about me. Will lock him up, and that's gonna be 4-0. The chop, ooh, a little bit wide, but no problem. Damage has already been done. Marshall with a humongous goal swing at the moment.
You know, I saw what original Matt was doing there with the charm. He was trying to predict the flash, I believe, and this time again predicting it and succeeding. Might just get a kill. The auto attack, but no! The prismatic barrier into the final spark. He flashes away. He stays alive, but original Matt almost made the play there with the charm.
MVP Lux. MVP Lux. Actually, it's not the first time. He saved his teammate's life numerous times so far in this game, but remember, they are not aiming to not lose this game. They need to win this game here, Keeper. And they're slowly, at least, trying to look for something. Oh, the heal. I think that was a little bit accidental coming up from the Ash.
Good damage coming in from the Ash right now. Has Enchanted Crystal Arrow. They could force this play if they want to. You can see the chip damage already starting to hurt against the MF. So, Marshall's still looking for the pick. Spirit Rush available with Charm is always going to be a problem. Ash has to be careful about spacing here. He's going to go in for the charm, immediately delete him and back off. And that's what I'm talking about. You have to respect the gap closer into the CC, because original Matt has been hunting and hunting for kills in mid. Every time that Spirit Rush is available, he's going in.
Yep, and this is what you kind of want, right? The reason you pick Ari is because of I think she's a pseudo assassin, right? A lot of damage once you land the charm, and she's really mobile when her ultimate's up. But meanwhile, the bottom lane, they get the Lux, no more protecting barrier to keep it up. And hey ho, Baron has just spawned. Why not we go for it instead?
Yep, at 12 minutes, they should get this Baron, and that is just the final nail in the coffin for Team Keeper. The reason I say that is because once this is collected, they won't have a good way to deal with the Baron empowered minions. The wave clear that they have is very subpar. If they walk up to clear the wave, you know, original Matt is just going to do the same thing he's done time and time again. Spirit Rush for it, charm.
Right now, what they need to do is kind of hope that they get a pick off, right? They have quite a lot of good single target damage, right? Lux, Vayne, a lot of good damage, but they're just not stacking it up. And I have to say, the original Matt has been playing really well, landing really key charms. Oh, doesn't land it this time. Chester Crystal Arrow does come true. We'll just make sure he backs off. So, just a little bit of, I guess, tug of war in the mid lane.
Kind of like the idea of them hunting for kills, and now NX Live just jumping into the mid lane, finding one kill already. You can see the stacks being charged up, the supercharge for the
no,
visibility. He gets the gap closer, but is unable to find the last auto attack in. They still managed to take mid tier 2 with this Baron buff, and that's a win if I've ever seen one, because they still managed to get one pick. And meanwhile, Promise farming away on that vein, looking to be the last bastion of hope. Hopefully he gets to a point where he's big enough to take these fights, but Marshall, they're knocking on the door. They're looking to siege down the base.
Oh, they want to go for this, and they're already onto the Nexus. They do have the minions, and then, oh, that's teleport coming in. It's a little bit of a friendly banter coming from the team, but this should be the game. They do have the minions. They want to make sure that they end this well. They don't want to have any opposition. Brandos, the flash into the concept, mommy. No escape, says Ice. You are locked in here with me. They won the kills. They won the damage, and they are going to secure the win. Claps coming in. They are happy with that. Ice with a smile on his face, and they are going to go 2-1 in this group, securing second seed.
Isa's definitely very happy with that last play, because he was sitting outside the Nexus for a while, baiting them in. The moment they walked into range of the Curse of the Sand Mummy, he just immediately popped it and the call was made, right? So Team Marshall, this is why we had them a bit higher up in this head-to-head, just the overall nature of the way they conduct themselves in these fights. You can see that they have experience with mobile games, and the way they choked out their enemies when they had a small lead was just sublime.
Yep, and congratulations, Team Marshalls. That was actually a really good, solid display. I would say that the MVP for me would be Original Matt on that Ari. You could see once in a while goes in with the Spirit Rush, understanding the damage potential, understanding what a champion can do.
Right.
And he made some really flashy plays.
Yeah, he was always pressuring the Ashe out, and the Vayne really never had a chance to do anything in that game. The problem with playing like a marksman into something like Ari or Pseudo Assassin, right? When they have mobility, you don't dare to walk anywhere. You don't dare to walk up, you don't dare to approach fights, and it becomes a deterrent almost.
Yep, I fully agree about it, but that was a really good game. Unfortunately, there's no more games to vote for, because look at that, all games is ended. We made it through Hungry Cast, all 12 games. What a journey from day 1 today already.
You know what's the best part, Matthew? Tomorrow we get to do it all over again in the playoffs of the Pentaboom Showdown. For now, we are going to be waiting for the highlights as well as the post-match stats. We will also have an interview coming up for Team Marshall, so we will be speaking to them later on. The second time today, they will be ending their position in the group at second, I believe, at 2-1. So
correct.
they will be playing against the third seed from the opposing group.
Don't worry, don't need to crack your head. We'll show some graphics. You know, our production team got this. They're professional. I believe in my producer. But let's look at the highlights before we talk about tomorrow's matches. It was a pretty solid game. You could see the early game, they wanted to play safe, and there was some pretty good plays from Keeper as well. You could see especially like this kill onto the Blitzcrank.
Yeah, they found this kill after the Blitzcrank got a bit too handsy and hooked T26 in, but here,
this one
is getting picked off. You can see his reaction instantly on the camera the moment the charm hits. He's frustrated, and rightly so, because when you find a kill on a marksman that early in the game, you have cutting out so much farming time, so much scaling time, right? And you can see towards the end that Vayne had like little to no impact on the overall map state.
This was actually pretty close here. They kind of overdived a little bit, Original Matt, but it was almost a comeback. Unfortunately, the next sort of sequence of plays pulled the lead a little bit too far into Marshall's hands.
Team Keeper, they put up a valiant attempt to defend, and at this dive 10 minutes into the game, it felt like Marshall were very confident with their success rate in this closing this game out.
Yeah, I say, man, the surprise champion for me in this tournament has been Amumu, right? Do you expect it to, him to be so prominent across all the team's picks?
I think Mumu has seen some big value right here, just locking people up.
That was a beautiful ultimate, man.
He sees some big value because it's so easy to execute, right? And your opponents have to respect that. Curse of the Set Mummy is such a powerful teamfight AoE tool that if you don't respect it, you get caught, you immediately lose the fight.
Yep, and look at the post-game stats here. 18-5 with the Q score. MVP, well, first time that I agree with the AI that the MVP goes over to Original Matt. 7-1-5. Luden's Echo, Oblivion Orb, as well as the good old hat, the Ramadan Staff Cap.
Yep, overall just looking really solid. He even went for the Lifesteal and Spellvent boots for a bit more sustain. I like that because it allows you to be on the front lines a little bit more instead of having to base non-stop. Kaiser's built this time as well, the Muramana into the Phantom Dancer and the Nashers, gives you the evolve on all of your skills that you need to. So incredibly smart build coming in from Team Marshall. I'm happy to see them, advance and do so well in this final game for today.
Yeah, it's quite interesting whether tomorrow we're gonna see a lot more double marksman builds. This time it's Kai'Sa in the solo lane into Ace Gaming in the dual lane.
Yeah.
Are they gonna show up a little bit more in tomorrow? We'll just have to wait to find out.
We saw some of the weaknesses of the double marksman today. Assassins still rule the game when it comes to killing off marksmen, and Prom as well as Hannah Gaming here were not, comfortable at all. Like the Lux was not in a position to do anything this game.
Yeah, I can see Arjun just topping the charts for the damage, 17k. I think he's at least double the closest one next to him. So that's the impact that this Ahri had in this game. And it showed, right? He was everywhere in this map. He was landing charms, Orb of Deception, Spirit Rushing ins and out. He was, using his champion really, really well.
Pushing the limit and basically finding advantages when his team needed, those insiders to get you in.
Wow, that gold graph once again. We have yet to see a very, I would say, tug of war gold graph. It has always been a very linear increase to whoever gets the advantage, right? I hope tomorrow we're gonna be able to see a better sort of like a back and forth game. It would make it really, really interesting.
Yeah, so far it's been very snowbally, and I think a large reason behind that is teams don't know how to play from behind when the game is this, immature and young, right? The audience doesn't know how to play from behind just yet. So when you're behind, you kind of just roll over. You don't know how to retake vision. You don't know how to, phonetic death brush, so to speak, and do all these cheesy things to get yourself back in the game.
The main thing is also the introduction of wards. All these small little factors has been so new to mobile MOBAs. It's why it's taking a while for them to adapt. But here comes the MVP of this game. It has to be Original Matt with Ahri 715, 12.6k gold. He's just money in the bank, man. Money in the bank, and 17k damage.
Yeah, 17k damage, extremely crucial factor for their victory today. You could see the way he